Hey everybody, it looks like we may get an update on the case of Maureen Brainard-Barnes tomorrow, so I thought I'd make a little video to show where we're at. I wanted to start this video by discussing Maureen. First, I'm going to read her obituary, then I'm going to have her friend talk about what she meant to her. Maureen was born June 14th, 1982 in New London, the daughter of Marie Ducharme of Groton and the late Robert Senecal. She was formerly employed at Foxwoods Resort and Casinos as a dealer. Besides her mother, she is survived by two children, Nicolette Brainard-Barnes of Mystic and Dylan Haggart of Norwich, a sister, Melissa View of New London, a half-sister, Brianna Senecal, and several nieces, nephews, and cousins.
She's very giving, very loving, very caring, multi-talented with different things. Her passion was poetry, and she wanted to become the next female rapper. She wanted to be a female Eminem, and she could have too, because her poetry was beautiful. She taught me basically how to be an adult and how to stand up for yourself, and everything like that is stuff that I attribute to her. My own independence and everything like that is something I attribute to her. I always have.
Now I'm going to read the bail application for Rex Sherman to show where we are currently at with the case. Since at the time of the bail application Rex was not charged, they have this footnote at the beginning. Although the defendant is not yet charged with any crimes as to the disappearance and murder of Miss Brainard-Barnes as set forth below, defendant Rex Sherman is the prime suspect in her death and the investigation, which is continuing and is expected to be resolved soon. Moreover, there is substantial evidence of defendant Sherman's involvement in the disappearance and death of Miss Brainard-Barnes, which evidence closely fits the modus operandi of the defendant in relation to the deaths of the other three women, and which supports the current charges. As such, this bail application contains descriptions of that evidence, which demonstrates the strength of the people's case as currently charged. Now we get into the body of the bail application, where they discuss the disappearance and murder of Maureen. Maureen was last seen on July 9th, 2007 in New York City. At that time, she was believed to be working as a sex worker. On July 6, 2007, Miss Brainard-Barnes' cell phone was contacted by a burner cell phone. Between July 6, 2007 and July 9, 2007, there were 16 interactions between this burner phone and Brainard-Barnes' cell phone. On July 9, 2007, the last cell site location for the Brainard-Barnes cell phone was at approximately 11:56 p.m. in Midtown Manhattan near the 59th Street Bridge. Thereafter, the Brainard-Barnes cell phone had no further activity until July 12, 2007. On July 12, 2007, 3 days after her disappearance, 2 outbound calls were made for Brainard-Barnes' cell phone, checking her voicemail from a cell site location near the Long Island Expressway in Islandia. Further on in the bail application, this paragraph is included. Miss Brainard-Barnes had been left restrained by 3 leather belts. We'll get into that a little bit more later. One of which was utilized to tie Barnes' feet and ankles, legs together. During the examination of the belts, a female human hair was recovered from the buckle on one of these belts by Suffolk County Crime Lab. On or about December 18, 2010, the Suffolk County Laboratory this hair and was able to determine that it corresponded to a Caucasian head hair fragment. Although this hair was not suitable for nuclear DNA profiling at that time, it was subsequently submitted for further DNA analysis. See below. As noted above, the female hair on Barnes, 2 female hairs on Waterman, and female hair on Costello were all sent to an outside forensics laboratory. Forensic Laboratory 1 applies DNA techniques and direct genome sequencing in difficult-to-solve forensic casework and the identification of human remains. In or about July 22nd, Forensic Laboratory 1 was able to determine that each of the aforementioned female hairs recovered on the 3 victims belonged to a female individual in the mitochondrial haplogroup K1C2, and that this female was none of the victims. Based on these submissions, on or about February 24, 2023, Forensic Laboratory 1 was able to conclude that one of the DNA profiles generated from the bottles taken from defendant Herman's residence indicated a female individual belonging to mitochondrial haplogroup K1C2. Based on the investigation and evidence recovered to date, this female is believed to be the wife of the defendant, Heuermann. So basically what all of that is saying is that for all three other of the victims, they were able to tie something to Rex. But for Maureen, they were only tie something to his wife, Asa. However, remember that belt buckle? Let's get into that. This is from an article from Newsday, a local newspaper here on Long Island. Gilgo Beach serial killing victim Maureen Brainard-Barnes remains were bound in a distinctive belt embossed with the initials WH or HM, Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney said in a Newsday interview Thursday. The first times authorities have disclosed that detail publicly. There was a question hair that is still being tested that was removed by the buckle of the belt, said Tierney, referring to one of the other belts without any initials used to bind her legs. One had WH on it. One had the distal end of the belt cut off, meaning the end of the belt furthest from the buckle, and it was cut off. And that would have been the section where the initials had been on it. That's where those initials would have been. So they are testing that hair, and we're waiting for those results. Here's a picture of the belt. It appears we may get those results tomorrow, and hopefully one more step for justice for Maureen. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.